Hey everyone, this is First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Brad Penn. There's a lot going on here at the end of the 4th of July holiday week. It's Friday. We've got two tropical systems and a mega cold front heading our way. I'm going to tell you how some are going to impact us and some are not, but let's get right to the details. Here's a wide view of the Atlantic, as we got to start with Hurricane Beryl, which is a weird name. I mean, people think it's Beryl. Some people were upset that I put the pronunciation key in there. It's Beryl. It's a weird word. A lot of people haven't heard it before. So most people think it was like Milton Berle, even though it's not spelled the same. It's Beryl. It's a weird name. We all get it. But Beryl is a weird storm because it's a Category 1 hurricane. Could strengthen today, but it's moving into an area as it gets towards the Caribbean that is really unfavorable. Strong wind shear and all kinds of dry air. So overall, not overly concerned with Beryl. And it's so far away from us, so it's no big deal. For us, two things I'm keeping an eye on. One is this legit cold front. I love the fact that we're actually getting a real cold front here in the month of July. But what has my eye as well is another potential tropical system off the Carolina coast. Now, initially you saw this thing as like, it's going to recurve. Well, it might interact with the front a little bit and be something to keep an eye on for the Carolina coast. All in all, I'm not overly concerned with it. I'll put the models on here because you can see most of the guidance shows this kind of meandering off the coast and then recurving. This front that's actually going to help cool us down, it's probably going to block the system from being a big deal. But if you are heading to the beaches, you're probably going to see some pretty good rip currents and some pretty high surf as this approaches the coast. Let me show you a look at the satellite image because this is a really cool shot. You can see our little swirl out here, and you can see the front trying to get closer and closer. I'll let this loop a couple of times, and you can see a nice explosion of thunderstorms with this low. It might stay far enough offshore that we don't see much from it, but what will be interesting is the cold front. As the cold front comes through, the interaction with the cold front might produce some showery weather, especially Saturday and Sunday along the coast. So we might end up seeing some wet weather along the coast, but it might be indirectly associated with this tropical system. Also notice this upper low, which is off the South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida coast. That's a really interesting system right there. If you look at the water vapor loop, I'll go up here and you can actually see the upper low right there. That's the tropical system, so it's kind of weird. You see the swirls in the atmosphere. That's the potential tropical system. That's an upper low. But just to show you how unlikely Beryl is to get stronger, if I go down here into the Caribbean, look at all this dry air that's ahead of Beryl. No issue there. So we'll keep an eye on this. I think what's going to happen is the front is going to be the thing that really keeps us from seeing much of anything out of this. So let me show you real quickly what I think is going to happen off the southeast coast here. We'll show you what this looks like in the European model. So let me switch over to 3-hour precipitation total. So you'll see here off the coast, as this loads, we'll have our low. There it is. And here's the cold front coming down for the weekend. As we go into time, you'll see the cold front gets closer and closer to us. As the cold front gets in here, that's what eventually will block it. So here's a look at later tonight into Saturday morning. There's the cold front, and there's our low well off the coast. You can see it's really not much of an issue. As we go through the weekend, the front gets to the coast, and notice how it kind of merges a little bit with that offshore system. So there's the front kind of hung up here as we go into Saturday afternoon. Drier air filters into the Carolinas, but you could see the low staying offshore. So all in all, that front kind of saves us. Notice how it kind of blocks it from getting to the coast. Sunday could be kind of wet in the Outer Banks and kind of squally, but then as we go into next week, the front kind of wins out, the ridge builds back, and it looks like the system weakens and moves away. So it's something to keep an eye on if you're at the coast, but all in all, this looks like it stays offshore, and that cold front helps us out. By the way, that cold front, it feels great behind this front. Just to show you how cool it is behind this, I'm going to go up here into the Midwest, and I'm going to turn on I'll turn on the dew point temperatures because I think this is the real story here. Look at this dry air behind the front. That's what's heading our way for the weekend. So get excited. Really cool air, dry conditions as well, and maybe 3 to 4 days of no heat. I'll keep an eye on that coastal system, especially if you're going to the beaches. But if you're going there next week for the whole week, don't sweat it. There might be some showers early in the week. It's not a complete washout the entire week. Conditions will improve as we get towards Wednesday and Thursday. Hope you have a great Friday. I'll see you today starting at 4, 5, and 6 on NBC Charlotte.